Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. So today we're going to take a look at the upcoming series, which is a comeback from Chronos Gate. We have another jackpot card to take a look at. Right, so this is the 1% card, Philyra, right? The author's Muse. So this will be the 1% card, and then we'll take a look at whether this is 1% worthy or not, and whether or not you should draw for this particular seal. Alright, so let's take a look at the leader skill. First of all, we have attacks of monsters of Heroes of Dimension, which is this series right here, as well as God times 7. So you either play Chronos Gate or you play Mono God playstyle. Okay, and it's more tailored to point number 2, Fire, Light and Dark of this particular series, or Gods, alright, which have a HP and recovery boost of 1.5. So if you bring in like Water or you bring in like Earth, you won't get that HP and recovery boost. Okay, right, so point number 3, by dissolving all runestones in any rows of the first batch, attack of monsters of Hero of Dimension as well as God times 2 additionally. Okay, so there's an additional conditional multiplier there, and then a second conditional multiplier, which is above 6 combos, you get another times 2 additionally. Alright, so it's basically a 7 times 2 times 2 kind of multiplier right here. Right, so first thing off the bat, I kind of spot a bit of a fault for this particular card already. Okay, so yes, above 6 combos, team attack times 2 additionally is very easy to achieve. Right, the problem would be dissolving all runestones in any rows of the first batch. Okay, we have this additional times 2. Okay, so this will come. This card will have a problem in hitting maximum multiplier when you come across certain enemies, such as like the tornado runes and stuff like that, in which one of the column cannot be dissolved, right? So which means that you will definitely not be able to hit that additional times 2. Okay, so that is one thing to take note of, right? Other than that, I think that maximum multiplier should be relatively easy, right? And then we'll take a look at the team skill at the end of the video, and then I'll just give my final thought on this card. Alright, so moving on to the active skill 1. So this card here have 2 active skills. So the first one is at CD5, turn the column below Chronos Gate monsters as well as God into enchanted runestones. So this one is a full board enchant if you look at it. So technically you're supposed to bring Chronos Gate monsters as well as God. So it's basically a full board enchant. And then for 2 rounds, combo count plus 6. So this combo count plus 6 will definitely let you achieve that team attack times 2, as what we see in the leader skill, right? The last point. So for 2 rounds, you have that plus 6 combos, and then the first batch to be dropped will be raise runes of the attribute of Chronos Gate monsters. Right, so it's kind of like a additional sky drop combo there, right, with raise runes as well. Right, so this is gonna increase your damage for quite a bit. Right, so having said that, this team will be more tailored for Chronos Gate cards instead of other gods from other series, right? If not, your this first batch drop will not be triggered, right? So basically you have to play more of like the Chronos Gate characters, such as this card here. We have Amaterasu from the Chronos Gate series, and all these cards will be more tailored for to get the maximum out of this active skill number 1. Okay, so moving on to active skill number 2. Right, so what we have here for active skill number 2 is also CD5, right? So select and swipe to remove 3 rows of runestones, right? So this is gonna be another 3 rows removal kind of active skill. So for 2 rounds, you will be able to spin through sticky runes, which is kind of okay. I don't think sticky runes appear very often. I think burning runes appear more often than sticky runes, but nonetheless, it will be a very good way to counter these sticky runes. Right, so this is all for the review on the Facebook page, right? But there is actually more. There is actually a team skill in which I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, so if you look on the left hand side, there is these are the team skills for Philyra. So point number 1, all runestones possess effect of fire, light and dark, so which means that there is a full board of attribute possession. So this is going to help you in terms of your damage as well, right? So you don't have to specifically dissolve fire, light and dark in order to do damage. You can just dissolve pretty much anything on the board. Okay, so number 2, 5 runestones possess 50% of hard runestones, and it's probably no, this is a team skill, so it's just 50% hard runestones. right? So this is going to help you in terms of your recovery, right? So there is a kind of a plus point there. Point number 3, runestones can be dissolved by aligning 3 or more of them in the first batch. So this means Guan Yu playstyle, this means Maya playstyle, in which you can dissolve like an L shape of 3 runes and stuff like that, right? Which is going to help you dissolve more runestones, right? But kind of a disadvantage when it comes to things like puzzle shield and stuff like that, right? Because you have to be more careful whether to, you know, not extend the rune out of the Tetris if you have this kind of special dissolving playstyle. So point number 4, we have damage reflect from enemies minus 90%. So we have seen this before, something like Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. So any damage reflected from enemies will be tremendously reduced. So there's a kind of a mini plus point right there, right? But not very important. We'll be looking things more towards like damage, increase of damage and stuff like that. Alright, so next we have, by dissolving more than one group of more than 5 runestones in a row, in which you're supposed to be doing that anyways, right? For that maximum multiplier, team attack times 2 in the leader skill. Right, we have Heroes of Dimension CD minus 1. Right, so you can constantly minus that CD as long as you keep fulfilling this condition. And last but not least, we have this swipe left, swipe right kind of team skill right there. So what the last point is referring to is when you activate things that requires you to swipe. For example, like Philyra's active skill number 2, right? You get to swipe 3 rows of runestones, right? So by swiping left or swiping right, you will trigger these following effects, right? If you were to swipe left to remove the runestones, you can actually extend your rune movement time to 12 seconds for 1 round, right? So note that all these can be superimposed. So based on my understanding, by swiping 3 rows, so which means that you can actually get the maximum of 3 rounds of such effects. Okay, so you can kind of plan ahead whether there is any boss or enemy skills which requires you to do, you know, your certain left and right swipes. Okay, just to give you an example, to swipe left, you extend rune movement time for 12 seconds for 1 round, right? So one disadvantage of this 1% card is there is no time extension, right? No rune movement time extended regardless. So which means that we only have a pathetic 5-second spin time, which is a boo-boo for jackpot card nowadays, right? So swipe left is to give you 12 seconds. So anyways, this 12 second isn't extended regardlessly as well. So that is a very bad skill here, right? And then to swipe right, you actually get team attack times 2.2 and damage dealt regardless of defense, right? So certain things you can plan in advance, such as maybe the next stage there is actually petrified runes, in which failing to dissolve it will cause the monster to have high defense, right? So if you were to swipe right 3 times, you get 3 rounds of this. So you get 3 rounds of team attack times 2.2 as well as damage dealt regardless of defense. So that can actually help you break through the petrified runes enemy, right? Something like that, right? If you require more spin time, then of course you do the swipe left. So overall, I find that this card here is pretty bad in terms of meta nowadays, right? No time extension. That's a very bad condition there already, right? All jackpot cards must have at least some sort of time extension, and this series came at a very bad timing, right? It is actually stuck in between Tsuyo and the upcoming Demon Slayer collaboration. So based on its power level right now, I don't think it is very worth drawing. So if you guys are concerned whether to draw for this series or not, or wait for the upcoming collaboration, I would say this card or basically this series as a whole is okay to skip, right? Anyway, it's gonna be part of the original series, which means that it's gonna be around here. It's gonna be around in the game for forever. So which means that you still have chance to draw it other times, right? So for now, I feel that this card here is not going to be very worthy or worth your diamonds if you guys are low on diamonds. So you can actually save for future contents, right? So this is my opinion for this upcoming 1% card Philyra. So if you guys have any more to add on to this video, do feel free to put it in the comments down below, right? And then as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.